Oh, hey, we got 20 new subscribers, 5,240 since I looked at it before the show.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, we can get there.
Brandon's head might explode, but this is going to be great.
We're not, well, change isn't always bad. We're just,
don't worry about
tricky.
it. We got it, Brandon. We have nothing. Don't worry about it at all.
I've
fucked up like 9 times already this show alone because I'm not thinking about YouTube. I'm thinking about the radio audience.
No, you haven't. We're not.
Well, it's just an adjustment. It's going to take some time. I know you're still weak, but
I'm not weak.
Because you get your strength back.
I feel great.
5,240 subscribers. We are 10,260 subscribers away from Dave and Chuck, which is goal number 1 in my life, is to pass Dave and Chuck subscribers on YouTube. Please help me meet my goal.
They have a 15-year head start, so it might take a little bit of time.
But
now this is a stealth attack because they're not ready for it. They haven't been doing anything to help out their YouTube channel.
No, they've been phoning in their YouTube channel for years.
Speaking of phoning it in.
Yes, I do.
I wasn't going to talk about this, but fuck it. So I'm driving around Friday morning. Charlotte and I are running some errands, getting her out of the house, and because for some reason they didn't have school again, which is a whole other thing. I don't think they're ever going to school again. But we're flipping around listening to the radio, and it's
what time is it?
I think then it's like 8:30.
Oh, okay. Prime Dave and Chuck time.
CSX.
What time is it?
Big Jim.
I believe they were broadcasting live, or somebody was out there live.
Oh, for St. Patrick's Day. Right. So Dave and Chuck are obviously at the bar. It's screaming loud in the background.
I didn't think they were. I listened to them for about 1 minute.
What? They phoned in St. Patrick's Day?
A kid in the car, so I wanted to hear words like cock, which apparently is cool to say now over the...
They use the word cock?
Yeah, they can say that. They've always been able to say words that nobody else can for some reason.
Cock?
Yeah.
Okay, at the very least, I didn't want to hear your penis.
Did they actually say cock?
Oh, come on. They've said, yeah.
That's what we've heard. I've never actually heard it, so.
I've heard a lot of crazy
Could be
stuff.
I've heard tits, which made me mad. I wanted to call and complain at the front desk. Hey, Drew and Mike never said tits. Why are Dave and Chuck allowed to? I'm sending a letter to the FCC.
I'm a tattletale. My point being is I was just surprised that they weren't out at a bar, and I don't know.
I'm going to complain about that too.
Is that because they're syndicated?
They made us go out every St. Patrick's Day. Why don't they have to go out?
I like that argument.
Why are they so special?
They probably said no.
Actually, I don't blame them one bit.
No,
that's the worst broadcast.
That's what I ended up explaining to Charlotte is how awful those broadcasts were. And thankfully, I got to be in the studio for a lot of them doing it remote. I didn't like being out.
What we tried to teach them over time was that, okay, it's one thing for Arthur P. to go out and play 10 songs an hour at a St. Patrick's Day thing and get the audience a little whipped up once an hour, twice an hour, 3 times an hour, and do his thing and tell people to come and be a draw. It's another thing to talk for 4.5 hours with a screaming crowd who cannot hear you.
Right.
Well, and they're not really listening to you.
Or they want to interrupt you as you're trying to do something and be like, hey, man, hey, I love the show.
And you have the same, like, 17 super fans standing right in front of you watching your every move for 4.5 hours. Yeah. That might be the hardest part.
Well, and they
want to interrupt you constantly because they want something, or they want you, oh, can you sign this, or can I have that, or can I get a T-shirt? It's really hard to talk for 4.5 hours with a really rowdy crowd. At the same time, it's really be a bummer if nobody showed up. So I mean, I get. It's just it puts the show in a difficult spot.
And don't get me wrong. I'm just jealous that they didn't have to go do St. Patrick's
I am
Day
too.
because
I'm livid.
It was probably a better show than
I'm calling Tom Bender.
It's probably a way better show than if they actually did do it live. And I'm just thinking how much money was left on the table.
I'm always going to default to 105.1 Sports Radio, putting us in the middle of Joe Louis Arena, like 6 hours before a game, in front of nobody for no reason.
Ridiculous.
Why? I mean, why were we there?
I always wanted to know, okay, what did the station get out of this? Because there's no point in having a live radio show in an arena 6 hours before a hockey game.
The only
there's
people
no point.
in the entire
Maz
building,
probably got tickets.
The only people in the entire building were a handful of people that worked at JLA. And I remember being, I was green. I was a new producer in town. And Drew's smoking cigarettes in the bathroom. And I was
you
like,
have to always bring this up every time.
Yes, I have
this comes
to.
Up.
You should.
No, you don't.
I have to, because I was like, oh my God, we're going to get kicked out of this place. Oh my God, he's smoking a cigarette in the bathroom. Oh my God.
And that's why you are Buzzkill Brandon.
No, because
that
Drew
is why
tried going outside once, but it took 15 minutes to get out. of the arena. It was just a poor,
You are buzzkill
poor.
Brandon because you never wanted to push any kind of rule or limit. Admit it.
I didn't want to get in trouble. We got in trouble.
You wouldn't have gotten in trouble. I would have gotten in trouble.
Drew didn't get in trouble.
No, Drew didn't get in trouble.
Not only did Drew not get in trouble, he got to smoke inside of JLA.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for
Fucking
him.
cool.
Right? And if he
But
did,
at the time, we kept getting in trouble. I remember we got in trouble for eating at the Palace, and they announced
yeah,
Okay, excuse me, Mark and Brandon, the no eating.
they did not single us out.
they did too. We were the only two eating.
Well, I mean,
They
they
went
didn't
across
say us
the
by
line.
name. That's how class act they were there.
I was in
That
panic.
was like 4 hours before a game, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Did
see,
you interview the 7-foot center who wouldn't say anything?
yes. My God, Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was nice, but he
It's
didn't
fine.
want to reveal anything.
Athletes never want to say anything.
No, I don't know. That was really. They must get something out of it, though. I mean, I've heard those broadcasts all the time. Hey, it's so and so at the Palace of Auburn Hills, where the Pistons take on so and so. Like, why are you there now? And then
I know.
what you would get. I mean, the answer to your question would be, "Oh, Tom Wilson's going to be on." Well, Tom Wilson's great, but is that a reason to do a whole show out at the Palace? I mean,
No,
why not be in the studio and have Tom on the phone?
Why not just have a person out there for 60 seconds before a break? Because that's really all it is an ad, and that's fine. So have someone remote.
Why are we talking about this again?
I don't know, because I was mad that Dave and Chuck didn't have to do
Oh,
St.
yeah,
Patrick's
that's right.
Day.
Yeah, no, I'm mad too. I'm calling Tom Bender. I'm calling Podell. I'm getting to the bottom of this. Why are they not live?
I want an Irish bar to request them next year for a ridiculous amount of money to see where the limit is.
I am going to open an Irish bar just to offer a shit ton of money for Dave and Chuck on St. Patrick's Day. That's my third goal. My number one goal is to pass them in subscribers on YouTube. My number 2 goal is to pass Adam Rich, the deceased star of 8 is Enough, who has 19,400 Twitter followers. And my number 3 goal is to buy an Irish bar, or to buy a bar and turn it Irish, so I can offer
Just to
an
make them?
insane amount of money for WRIF to come out with the morning show on St. Patrick's Day.
Every single one of them, too.
Yes, and no talent fees.
See how much power they really have.